हरत्वं संसारं द्रुततरमसारं सुरपते हरत्वं पापानां विततिमपरां यादवपते
स्वामिन् नमस्ते नतलोकबन्धो कारुण्यसिन्धो पतितं भवाब्धौ मामुद्धरात्मीयकटाक्षदृष्ट्या ऋज्व्यादिकारुण्य सुधाभिवृष्ट्या स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते।
Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru. Our Krishna is still young, very small. And yesterday we were watching all the pranks that he plays. And I think it was very enjoyable. And today morning, so many beautiful photos have come through WhatsApp. I sometimes smiled looking at them. Sometimes I was surprised thinking, the people who have drawn these pictures, what imagination they have, how they have been able to draw these pictures and paint them. You know, just the pictures, it brings so much of joy, so much of delight to the heart. Seeing the pictures about which we have seen yesterday, like Krishna stealing butter, Krishna lying in the mother's lap and suckling, Krishna and Krishna's friends, they are stealing butter from the slings, standing on stools and on one another. All these pictures, what in the form that we have seen Krishna yesterday. And it looks so real. And it looks very delightful because just these days we are with Krishna. And I think our moments, every moment has become Krishnamaya. So when we look at those pictures, what to say? Paramananda fills the heart. It is because Krishna is a divine child, eternal, universal. Every time we see these pictures, every time the mind is filled with an inexplicable delight. A delight which never becomes old. As we saw the other day in a shloka, Vedavyasa is saying, Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam Tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam. It is just like that. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. This Krishna is always Ramya, Ruchira, and always new. And what does it do to us? Shashvat Mahotsavam, it brings to the mind. Taking away what? It dries up all kinds of misery, doubts, anxiety, tension, everything, and makes us float in an ananda which never becomes less. Always it is full, full and full. Purna, he is Purna. Now, it's not over. In fact, When I was preparing today, I was feeling that one more day should have been there, because all the childhood sports, I don't think I'll be able to cover. But let me see how much we can enjoy together. Today's is a very, very important episode in Yashoda's life with Krishna. Shuka is narrating to Parikshit, and we are all listening. He has now pictured a very sweet, supremely sweet childhood sport of Krishna. Here he highlights how just by bringing up the small child, Nandagopa and Yashoda, through their supreme affection, which is called Vatsalya, to the boy, they were able to taste the supreme bliss, the transcendental bliss, which is not available to even the yogis. It is not available easily by japa, dhyana, tapasya, or any other sadhana. It is not available. Yogis and rishis, they take long, long time, many years of sadhana. It's not easy. But Nandagopa and Yashoda, just by bringing up the child, they tasted this supreme bliss. Now, all along, Krishna was stealing butter from where? All these days, with his group, he used to go to different houses and steal butter. This is an episode where he steals butter from his own house. So one day, what happened? Yashoda was thinking, why my Krishna steals? Everybody is coming and telling me that your Krishna has become a thief. I feel very sorry to hear that. But what is the reason that he is stealing? I think he becomes hungry. But why is he hungry? He is eating and then only going for playing. With lot of thought, he thought that, in other houses, the gopikas are making the butter themselves. They are churning themselves and they are preparing butter. Here, the maid servants are doing. So maybe this butter is not very tasty. Maybe if I myself make butter will become very tasty, and my Gopala will take that butter and he will not feel hungry anymore. So he went and proposed to the maid servants that from tomorrow I would like to prepare butter. They just fell at her feet. Please don't deprive us from this opportunity. We are doing our best because he is our life. We are also loving him very much. He gives us such delight. We do not understand where from it comes. And we are always eager to see him, make food for him, taking him out for just going out with him, sometimes giving bath as you instruct us, sometimes make him wear dresses and ornaments. So please don't deprive us from this one seva that we do for him. So Yashoda was in a fix what to do. Now one day an opportunity came. What was the opportunity? Indra Yaga, the annual Indra Yaga, was to take place. Everybody would go. Normally Yashoda also goes, but she decided not to go. First of all, she felt that she can churn the curd and make butter herself. She will send all the maidservants and she can do this work. Secondly, she thought, this boy is very restless. If I take him there, I don't know what mischief he will do and spoil everything. So better that I stay home. So she sent everybody. She sent the maidservants the previous day to do service there. It's a very big puja which is arranged, and everybody in Brajabhumi, they come and worship. So she sent the maidservants. evening, she went and milked the cows. Nandagopa's cowshed has 9 lakhs of milch cows, which are known as Sugandha Trinacharini. For them, there are special grass which are fragrant, and they are Vipula Payaswini. Eating that grass, they give lot of milk. The milk has fragrance of lotus. I am trying to create a picture. We must all see in our mind the picture. We were not there in those days, but through these narrations, we can be there. So Yashoda milked the cows, and she brought the milk, boiled it, put in new earthen pot, and curdled it. After all the work, she made Krishna sleep off. She also slept. While she was sleeping, she was stroking Krishna's body. Krishna was drinking the milk from her breast. Slowly the boy slept off. Yashoda got up very early in the morning. Why? Because her mind is focused towards Krishna Seva. She wants to get up and start churning the curd. And butter is the sweetest when it is churned early in the morning. So she got up. She could not, because the child mouth was still sucking her nipples. Slowly, she let herself free. Then she went to the corner of the room where there was a lamp burning, brought it, saw whether Krishna was in deep sleep, stroked him a little more, put 2 bolsters by his sides, and then she left, went and took bath, dressed up properly as they do, beautiful dresses, beautiful ornaments, and then taking the curd pot, she sat at a position from where she could see Krishna also, and also she had kept a pot of milk for boiling in the kitchen. So she had to look after both. So she sat at such a point. Now, as she started churning, there is one shloka. Yani yani hagitani tad bala charitani cha dadhir nirmanthane kale smaranti tanyagayata. There is only one shloka which is describing that when she was churning, what she was doing, she was pulling the rope which was encircling the rod with churns, and she was releasing the rope. So as she was doing, it is a rhythmic movement. With that rhythmic movement, in the rhythm of that movement, in her eyes, Krishna's all the leelas from birth to now started coming. She was so affectionate to Krishna. Her all mind was how to bring up this child properly so that he will be very good, noble, virtuous, not to speak of having good health, everything, and knowledge. So she was thinking of Krishna. And as she thought of Krishna, Krishna's leelas were coming dancingly into her mind. As it came dancingly, she started singing also in tune. So she was thinking of Krishna, she was singing of Krishna, and her hands were also moving in tune and rhythm, making butter for Krishna to eat and become healthy. This is what was happening. And I've been telling you that I am reading these stories, and I am also reading various commentaries. And sometimes I find these commentators, they are writing in such detail, a simple thing, like say this shloka. So many pages are written. It really takes you to Vrajabhumi, as if you are there, as if you are the Yashoda who is churning the curd and taking out butter. Vyasadeva now describes how was Yashoda looking when she was churning. Kshaumam vasah prithukatitate bibhrati sutranadham putra snehasnuta kuchayugam jatakampam cha subhruh rajvakarshashrama kankanau kundale cha svinnam vaktram kabara vigalanan malati nirmamantha. How Yashoda is churning, Vyasadeva has beautifully described it. You should be interested. Don't think that these are just what is there to know about it. Everybody churns. But don't think it has no value. Everywhere there is a purity associated. Everywhere there is a beauty and divinity associated. So he is describing. Her dress was saffron and yellow mixed. There was an ornament around her waist, katitate. And because she was thinking of Krishna, putra snehasnuta kuchayugam jatakampam cha subhruh, she was having very beautiful face, very beautiful eyebrows. And because of putra sneha, what was happening? With affection, her breasts were automatically shedding milk. And the breasts were, with that rhythm, her breasts and hips were also quivering and moving. Rajvakarshar sramabhuja chalat kankanau kundale cha. As she was pulling and releasing, what was happening? Her earrings and her bangles, they were also in tune, moving. Svinnam vaktram kabara bigalan malati nirmamantha. But with this, she was having a little tiredness. So she was profusely sweating. There were sweat drops on her beautiful eyebrows, making her look all the more beautiful. And from her hair, where flower garlands were there, the garlands were dropping off with this rhythm. This is how Vyasadeva has pictured her. And this is her outer picture. What was in her mind? In her mind, she was contemplating on Krishna and being flooded, drenched by an unparalleled, unprecedented love, Ananda Rasa, which is called Vatsalya. This is called Vatsalya. Now, her bangles, they were making sound, jan, 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 jan. She was wearing beautiful bangles and so many bangles. So in that rhythm, the bangles were making jan, jan, jan sound. And those bangles, they were feeling very fortunate. Fortunate for what? Fortunate that they are a part of the seva of Krishna. Since they are the ones which Yashoda has put on that day, they also got a chance to do Krishna seva. The earrings, they were also moving and swinging. in that rhythm. And the earrings were also feeling very fortunate to hear the songs that she was singing. So everywhere there was a feeling of delight, and her mind was absolutely focused on what she was doing, as if there was no separate existence for her. She was so absorbed. Thus were the Braja women. And they were like this. Krishna went away to kill Kamsa, never to return again to Brajabhumi. But throughout their life, they have sung about Krishna. Yesterday I sang that shloka. Yadohane avahanane mathanopalepha prenkhenkanarbharuditokshana marjanadau गायन्ति चैनमनुरक्तधियोश्रुकण्ठ्यो धन्या व्रजस्त्रिय उरुक्रमचित्तयानाः. These were the Gopikas. Always they sang about Krishna, whatever work they were doing, and with that kind of focus. And it started from Krishna's birth as he grew up more, like that. Now, when a devotee's mind becomes one-pointed, what happens? What was happening to Yashoda? Yashoda's mind was thinking of Krishna. Her words were singing of Krishna. Her body, that is her hands, were doing Krishna Seva. So the mana, Vakya and Kaya all together became focused on Krishna. What can the Supreme Lord do then? Just like that day we saw the Brahmin, what happened? Brahmin was chanting his mantra, contemplating on the Ishtadevata. So naturally Krishna was coming and eating the Nivedyam. Here Krishna is sleeping. Yashoda has put him to sleep nicely. But when her mind, words and her action became in tune with each other, Krishna got up. Krishna got up and found that mother is not there. So her little boy, as it happens with the little boys, little children, the lips started swelling up, tears came to the eyes, and he started calling, "Mother, mother, where are you?" Now mother's bangles, the churning, the sound of the churning, the sound of the bangles, and her own songs, they were making such beautiful noise that the child's cry did not reach her ears. So she kept on churning. Krishna got down from the cot, the little cot. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that scene? Vedavyasa writes that in this limitless universe, innumerable devotees are worshipping the Supreme Lord and crying, "Oh Krishna, give me darshan," with no response. Now here, Krishna is crying, oh mother, where are you?" And mother is not giving any response. The Satchidananda Vigraha, the Supreme Lord, has become a little child in front of us. He is a dense divinity. So Krishna came, looked here and there. He spotted his mother, ran, and from the back held the mother like this. And a beautiful description. With his left hand, he is holding the mother's neck. With the right hand, he is turning the mother's mouth, face towards him, to look at him. Yashoda understood that Krishna has got up and come. because Krishna with tiny hands, soft hands, was turning the mother's face to look at him. How can he tolerate that mother is doing something and not looking at him? So mother said, wait, it's just getting over. I am taking butter for you, sweet butter. And he said, I am hungry. I want to get onto your lap. You stop it. I want to get onto your lap and drink milk. So mother was saying, wait, just a little bit. What Krishna did? Krishna held the rod of the churning rod. Yashoda was surprised. Yashoda was not only surprised, she thought, oh, how my child has become very intelligent. How did he know that if he holds this rod, I will not be able to do anything? Tam stanya kama asadhyamatnantim jananim harihi grihitva dadhimanthanam nyashedhat pritimabahan. So anyway, seeing that the child would not allow him to churn anymore, she took the child and started giving breast milk to him. Again the same scene. Krishna in the mother's lap, fondling mother's breast and drinking milk, and mother with a slight smile looking at Krishna. Krishna is smiling, looking at the mother, drinking breast milk. Mark my words. Krishna with sweet smile is drinking breast milk, and mother looking at the child is drinking the nectarine delight that is created by Krishna's drinking milk. She is stroking the child and arranging the little curls of hair which are falling on the forehead. Yashoda is shedding breast milk and Krishna is drinking. As Yashoda's breast sheds and Krishna drinks, Krishna's thirst becomes more and more. And as Krishna's thirst becomes more and more, Yashoda's breast is shedding more and more. It is complementary. Both are complementary to each other. When Yashoda sheds more, Krishna drinks more, and in return, the breast also shedding more. This beautiful scene, looking at each other and this suckling the milk and Yashoda getting an unprecedented blissful delight, this could have gone on forever, infinitely. But Yashoda's eyes fell into the kitchen where the milk was about to flow off. So she immediately took the child, put him on the ground and ran there. Krishna became very annoyed. He was not satisfied. He was still hungry. So he became very annoyed. And what did he do? Suddenly becoming deprived, he became annoyed, and with that anger, he bit his reddish lip like this. Mother has left me and gone. I wanted to drink more. Why mother went away? What is there to go? Are other things more dear to mother? So many thoughts. Sanjata kopa spuritarunadhara sandashya dadbhir dadhimantha bhajanam bhitva mrishashrur drishadashmanaraho jaghasahayangavamantaram gate. Sanjata kopa spuritarunadharam sandashya dadbhir dadhimantha bhajanam bhitva mrishashrur drishadashmanaraho jaghasahayangavamantaram Gataha. So, Sanjata Kopaha. He became very annoyed. Sfuritarunadharam. The lips became swollen. What kind of lip? Arunadharam. Reddish lip. Sandashya dadbhir dadhimantha bhajanam. And he had bitten his lips with the teeth. He found a stone piece there. He broke the curd pot. He broke the curd pot. And whatever little butter mother had collected, he ate that. Part he ate and part he took in his hand. And to eat that butter which he had taken in his hand, to eat it at a quiet place where mother will not see, he just went away. Now he became afraid also. He thought, I think mother will come, and if mother finds that the curd pot is broken, mother will beat me. So he was running away. Now Yashoda came back from the kitchen after keeping back that milk pot. When she came, she found that the child was not there. Child was not there, and she did not become angry. She found the curd pot is broken, butter is not there, part of the butter is scattered, and she actually enjoyed it. And with a little smile, she thought, really, the child has become very naughty. Now, where has he gone? It's dark everywhere, such a big palace, nobody is there. Where has he gone? How will I find him? Thinking that, he looked here and there and was wondering how she will find him when she saw that, footprints, because Krishna had walked on the curd and gone away. So there were small footprints. So she followed the footprints and came near the room where they usually store all the milk products, whether it is curd, butter, ghee, other dried milk, or any other thing made of milk. And all these things, butter, ghee, etc., they are kept very pure, in a pure manner, because those are used for Narayana Seva and other pujas, also for holy purposes. When Yashoda reached that room, she thought in her mind, my goodness, has he entered this room? Has he started eating and spoiling and making everything impure? Meanwhile, actually Krishna has entered the room. He had run away from that place where mother was churning with the butter in hand. He came to this room, entered it, and thinking that mother should not find him, he had closed the door, not locked it, just closed it behind him. And just opposite there was a door. He went and opened it. From there, the monkeys in the trees, they saw him. So with great delight they got down and they also came inside. He found that there are lots of pots full of butter and curds, etc. But he was not able to get them. So there was one ulukhala, a mortar, rice husking mortar. That ulukhala, he somehow pushed and took out many pots filled with all these items. Partly he ate, partly he scattered. Most of it he distributed to the monkeys, and very happily he was sitting. But with his happiness he had a little fear also. At times he was looking at the back to see whether mother has come or not. Yashoda opened the door. Krishna did not see Yashoda because he was sitting with his back to the door. Yashoda saw him and saw what he was doing and said, exactly what I thought he is doing. He has made everything uchishta, impure. So she picked up a lathi, a stick, and entered. Now these monkeys were all facing to this door. Monkeys were facing Krishna, so immediately they could see Yashoda coming. Suddenly they jumped and went out and sat on the trees. So Krishna felt, Somebody has come, looked behind, and found that mother is standing there with a stick. And he was afraid. He jumped off that mortar and started running. Yashoda, with the stick in hand, started running behind him. You know, in his mind, when Shukadeva was describing this beautiful scene, he just sang this beautiful shloka. Tamattayashtim prasamekshya satvara tato varuhyapasasara bhitavat gopyan vadhavannayamapayoginam shamam praveshtum tapaseritam manaha. Can you imagine the scene? The little child who is like a human child to Yashoda. But who is he? He is the most powerful. He is the infinite. He is the eternal. He is limitless, whom the yogis, rishis, munis, for years and years with lot of austerities, they calm down their mind, and in Nirvikalpa Samadhi they try to reach him. This Yashoda, thinking that he is my boy, he has taken a stick to beat him and is running behind him. This beautiful, beautiful play of the Supreme Lord. Shukadeva felt so delighted that he sang this shloka. Tamattayashtim prasamekshya satvara tato varuhyapasasara bhitavat. And this small child, just like an ordinary child, is running away from the mother as if he is very afraid. He who gives abhaya to everybody, he is showing that he is afraid. What wonder can be greater than this? Gopyan vadhavannayamapayoginam kshamam praveshtum tapaseritam manaha. The yogis who practice Nirvikalpa Samadhi, even they, with their one-pointed mind, through so many austerities, are not able to attain the Supreme Lord. But Yashoda, taking a stick, is running behind Krishna, unattainable to the yogis, unattainable to all the devotees and jnanis easily, is wishing to catch him and is running behind this small child. I don't know whether you can see this scene in front of you. When I read this, I was delighted. And I found this, when I saw this, the commentator is writing that Shukadeva sang in delight. I had horripilation. What a beauty! What a beauty! Beauty in what? Beauty in this, that the yogis with so many austerities, with Nirvikalpa Samadhi, with one-pointed mind, they are not able to attain the Lord. The Lord who remains unattainable to them so easily with the love of a mother, the Vatsalya Prema. Yashoda is able to catch him, running behind him to catch. What is this Vatsalya Prema? In this Vatsalya love, there is no possessiveness. There is no attachment. It is an expansion of the mind. It is finding one's own child to be divine, to have qualities which expands the mind, which finds the child in everybody. When the Vatsalya Prema is there for a child, the true Vatsalya, then that love spreads to everybody, not only one's own child, to every child, not only even to children, even elders, even animals, all creatures. That is the beauty of that love. Sri Bhagavan, just imagine, Sri Bhagavan, who is Sarvadhara, who is substratum of everything. Yashoda is placing that Bhagavan on her lap. He is praised by all, but Yashoda is scolding him. He is sustainer of the whole world. Yashoda thinks she is looking after him. He is worshipped by all, and Yashoda feels that he is a very small baby. What can he do? I can very easily catch him. The Supreme Lord, who is Brahman or Paramatma, who is Nischala, Achala, Atala. But the yogis and jnanis, they are not able to anything if it is there. Suppose my hand is there and it is here only. One who wants to catch the hand will find the hand here only. So the Lord is Achala, but the devotees and seekers are not able to get him. And here, this Anandagana Vigraha, he has become restless boy, and Yashoda is catching him. So this is how Vedavyasa has brought about the divinity of the boy. Now, Yashoda started going behind, saying that, today I will teach you a lesson. You have become very naughty, very naughty. And she was heaving. Her hips and breasts were moving heavily. She became tired running after this boy. And every time she was saying that I will catch you today. You have to be punished today. You have to be disciplined today. After some time, though Yashoda was running like this, thinking that I have to catch the boy, at one time Yashoda felt, oh, my Krishna is so small. I have chased him a lot. He has run a lot. How much tired he must have become. Her small, soft feet must have become so tired and also wounded. Her heart started crying for Krishna. And as soon as her heart started crying for Krishna, she became slow in her speed, and Krishna also allowed himself to be caught. If Krishna did not want, she would not have been able to. He would catch him. She caught Krishna by her left hand. She has caught the child's right hand, and with the stick she is showing and scolding this boy, saying, why did you sleep? Why did you do this? Why did you break the curd pot? Why have you taken the butter? Now, with fear, Krishna started crying. He's a little boy. He has never seen mother getting so angry. Always, even if he has done some mischief, mother would ultimately take him in the lap, give kisses, wipe his tears, and then give him milk. But now he saw that mother is not doing that at all. He was crying, he was showing that he is very afraid. But still, Yashoda was scaring him and asking him, why did you break the curd pot and eat away the butter? So, with eyes full of fear, he kept his head down. Just imagine the scene. One who destroys the whole universe during Pralaya is never considered to be a culprit in the eyes of anybody. Just by breaking a small curd pot, mother has made him a culprit and is scolding him. Do you understand the beauty? Now, Yashoda said, I'll close you up in a room. I will never allow you to go out and play with your friends. Krishna became all the more scared and cried profusely. All the collyrium in his eyes started melting and falling onto his cheeks. Every moment he was thinking, now mother will take me in the lap. Now mother will wipe my tears. And mother did not do it. So I think for the first time in his life, with his own hand, he wiped his tears. That too with which hand? Left hand. Because the right hand is still caught by the mother. So with the left hand he is wiping the tears. Tears are profusely falling. So the face, the hand, everything became black. He started saying, Mother, I will not do this wrong anymore. I will not do this wrong anymore. So mother said, oh, understanding that this is a wrong, you have still done the wrong. Why? Then he replies, he is very cunning also. He replies, what can I do? You suddenly lifted me up from your lap and kept me on the floor and you went. When you went with your anklet, that curd pot got broken. So am I to be blamed? Why are you blaming me? See, this is from Gopala Champuhu. He says, Maya ka mama dushtata. Where have I done something wrong? I have not done anything wrong. And then you went away. So I also started walking. I found that in this room, so many monkeys had come. So I was chasing them away. The monkeys were taking the butter, spreading them, scattering them, eating. So I was chasing them out. At that moment, you came and you thought that I have done all this mischief. So, Mama ka dushtata, I have not done anything. You are unnecessarily scolding mother. You are unnecessarily scolding me. So mother was very impressed. Because she is a mother, no? She was very impressed that, look at this, such a small tiny boy. He knows how to give excuses which we will believe. So, but he said, oh, very skilled in apt words. O king of robbers, king of thieves, being the son of Nandaraja, how did you get the nature of monkeys? And you have become the friends of monkeys also. Monkeys are your friends, I find. With lot of grief, as if he is very much aggrieved, Krishna said, you are calling me monkey? Okay, I will go to the forest and I will stay with them only. I will stay with the monkeys only. You are calling me monkey. Then, Yashoda was always all for the boy. So she started feeling, this boy is capable of going away to the forest. Now what will I do? I have got so much household work to be done. Or no work I have been able to do. And nobody is there in the house today. If he goes away, who is going to keep watch? Better that I tie him up somewhere. Thinking this, he tried to tie him. And Shukadeva says, Na chantarna bahiryasya, na purvam napi chaparam, purvaparam bahishchantah, jagato yo jagatchayaha, tam matvatmajam avyaktam, matyalingam adhokshajam, gopiko lukhale damna, babandha prakritam yatha. न चान्तर्न बहिर्यस्य न पूर्वं नापि चापरं पूर्वापरं बहिश्चान्तः जगतो यो जगच्चयः तं मत्वात्मजमव्यक्तं मत्तलिङ्गमधोक्षजं गोपिकोलुखले दाम्ना बबन्ध प्राकृतं यथा. Shukadeva is saying to Parikshit, oh Parikshit, just imagine, he who has neither inside nor outside, na antaha, na bahihi, who has neither before nor after, na purvam, napi chaparam, who is yet the before and after, yaha jagataha purva aparam, as also inside and outside the whole universe, Bahishyantaha, and who is the universe itself in reality, Jagat Cha. Him who is unmanifest, avyakta, beyond sense perception, adhokshajam, now sporting in a human form, martyalingam, tam matvatmajam avyaktam martyalingam adhokshajam. Now this mother Yashoda, considering this Supreme Lord to be her own ordinary child, fastened him with the mortar, with a rope. Who will fast? Who will bind the universal rod who is all pervading? How can he be bound? With what can he be bound? Now the Yashoda, the simple mother, he doesn't know. There Sri Krishna has given this kind of one adhikara to Yashoda, to think about him as a small ordinary child. This adhikara, this right, he has not given to jnanis, tapasvis, yogis, to nobody except Yashoda. And that he has given because of Yashoda's love for him. Yashoda looks after him. As a very affectionate mother, she feels that all responsibility of Krishna is on me. And Krishna, the divine boy, gives him that divine delight. Not only that, that delight is spread to everybody. Not like the human mothers, the ordinary mothers, the worldly mothers, where the mothers are attached. They are possessive. They are not able to expand. They become competitive. They become jealous. When others' children shine or are good, their minds are constricted. Their mind is not as expansive as Krishna has made Yashoda's mind. Yashoda's child is everybody's child. The whole world considers this little Krishna as my child. The whole world revels looking at his face. The whole world, full of all the creatures of this creation, they get delight out of him, and Yashoda is happy. So, Vyasadeva has written, who will bind? Who will bind whom? Is it possible? How can it be possible? It is possible only with Ananya Bhakti. Only with Ananya Bhakti. And Yashoda has tied a rope of Vatsalya Prema. With that, he has tied him outside and inside. Now, what Yashoda does? Yashoda thinks that I will tie this boy, and she finds that the ulukhala is there, the mortar is there, let me tie with that. Then after tying, I will go and do my household work. Now she is catching hold of the child. She cannot leave the child and go look for ropes. Her hair was bund into a bun and there were rope strings there. So she first starts taking the string. She took a string and tried to tie the child to the ulukhala with the string. And she found that the string is a little short by 2 fingers. So she thought, okay, I'll join another one. She took another one. All of you know the story. Another one. Every time she ties, it becomes 2 fingers short. She was a little surprised and she was thinking, how can it be? I'm again and again tying longer ropes, but what is it? Why is he not getting tied? And in her mind, she thought that, see, when the mother was trying to tie him, what was Krishna doing? He doesn't want to get tired. He is thinking that if mother is successful in tying me, I will not be able to go out of the house. I will not be able to play with my friends. I will not be able to go and steal butter. So I will not allow mother to tie me. This is his intention. And what is mother's intention? I will tie him. So both are having opposite intentions. So what Krishna is doing? Yashoda is holding him with one hand, and with right hand she is trying to tie. Yet Krishna in between is trying to wriggle out. Sometimes he is just slipping away, sometimes falling down on the floor, sometimes, moving his hands and legs in such a manner. So Yashoda thought, since he is bringing lot of disturbance to the tying affair, I am not able to tie properly. And she also gives reason to herself that this doesn't happen when I am tying a necklace in Krishna's neck. That he wears very nicely. If I am putting one waistband in his waist, he takes it nicely, gets tied by that. If I am putting new anklets in his feet, then also he doesn't. So, what is wrong here? Like this, it went on. Now, when Krishna found that mother is not leaving me, he started shouting, "Oh Rohini mother, please come. See, I have taken a little butter and because of that mother is tying me." And started shouting. Rohini with Balarama had gone somewhere for that yaga only, Indra yaga. But some gopikas around were there in other houses. They all came and they said, looking at the boy, they said, "Yashoda, leave him. He is so frightened. His face has become small. See how profusely he is crying and saying that he will not do it again. So leave him." Yashoda looked at them and said, "You all keep on giving him indulgence. You are not disciplining him at all. And you are now not allowing me to discipline also. Will you be happy if he becomes a thief when he grows up? Let me do my job. You go. All my hair strings are over. Please go and get some rope." So they go and they start bringing rope after rope after rope. And then they say that, "Yashoda, I think your son is not destined to be bound. Can you not see how many ropes we have bought? Something is wrong. Something is happening." Yashoda thought in her mind, Gargacharya had said, the son will have prowess like Narayana. Is something happening? But still she felt, I am the mother. This is a small child. How can I not bind him or tie him? I have given birth. She thinks she has given birth. And I am bringing him up. So it is nothing. It's a very small, trivial job for me to tie him up. He is not allowing me to tie. That is why I am not able to tie. This is what she kept on thinking. Now, as Krishna was not wanting to get tied up, and Yashoda's eagerness to tie was increasing, there was as if a competition, a tug of war. Krishna was not wanting to be tied. Yashoda was feeling, I have to tie. Initially, that kind of intensity was not there in her. She felt that, what is that? It's a small boy, I will tie him up and go to my household work. And for further time also she thought like that. Now it became as if, why I will not be able to tie? And the intensity with which he wanted to tie this boy went on increasing and increasing. At that time, Krishna's glance fell on the mother's face. And he found that the mother has become very tired. Very tired. Swamatu svinnagatraya visrasta kavarasrajaha drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit swabandhane. When he found the mother has become very tired, constantly trying to tie. Mother's face and body is full of sweat. Her hair has completely opened up. all the flowers have fallen and she's fatigued. At that time, he, out of his mercy, allowed himself to be bound. And you know what? This is what Bhagavata says for any devotee. If you want to tie the Lord in your heart, there should be two things: the intensity of your devotion and yearning for the attainment, and as the intensity is, so will be the kripa of the Lord. Both must be together. And some say these are the two fingers that were falling short. Yashoda's intensity of her effort to tie him up, and Krishna's kripa falling on her. When the intensity went to the pinnacle of it, then Krishna showered his grace and Yashoda could tie the son. So, this is what is this story. But it has got many lessons to give us. Krishna was thinking, Yashoda was thinking that it's a very easy job I'll be able to do. And ultimately she became adamant, stubbornly insistent. And that is the time she was successful, because the Lord showered his grace and got bound by his own kripa. When at other times Yashoda will be tying necklaces or waistbands or anklets in Krishna's body, at times Krishna would become restless. At times when the friends will be waiting for him to go out and play, then also he will do all these mischiefs, trying to wriggle out, trying to beat his arms and feet, trying to fall on the ground and say that no, I don't want, please leave me, I want to go and join my friends. But what would Yashoda do at those times? Yashoda would talk to him sweetly, give kisses, tell him sweetly that please, my lad, wear this, you will look so beautiful. Her intensity to make Krishna look beautiful with the dresses and the ornaments in those moments, those intensity would be at the peak, and then Krishna would simply allow Yashoda to decorate him. But here, that intensity was not there initially. When the intensity came, then Krishna got bound. So, the Lord, Supreme Lord, to the devotees, he gives liberation, but not the right and opportunity to serve him, which he has given to Yashoda. What the Lord has shown us in this Dama Bandhana story is beyond anybody's imagination. He has effaced himself completely and has become a small child who is under Yashoda. Whatever Yashoda says, he has to do. And why does he do it? Because he has allowed himself to be the child of the mother. See, yogis become Atmarama and Atmatripta by taking refuge at the Lord's feet. And this boy, he has taken refuge under whom? Under Yashoda. He is ever contented. He is Nitya Tripta, but he remains a Tripta, unsatisfied, if he does not get enough milk to drink. He is Shuddha Sattva, he is pure. He has all good qualities. There is no anger, no annoyance in him. But being a Shuddha Sattva, he shows his anger if he doesn't get a proper share of butter. Lakshmi Devi is his consort, and She is always there to serve. Yet, having all the prosperity, he goes and steals butter from people. Mahakala fears him, but he is afraid of Yashoda. Though blissful, he is Ananda Swarupa, still he grieves and cries when he is caught while stealing. He is ever free, but he pretends to be bound. This is the story. The story tells us that for any devotee, all of us, we must know that our devotion should be one-pointed. Our devotion has to be intense. The intensity has to be there. And then only the Lord, He will be bound in our heart. We will not be able to go from there at all. You know, when I read this sloka, na chantarna bahiryasya na purvam na pichaparam purvaparam bahischantah jagato yo jagatchayatyah tam matvatmajam avyaktam mattalingam adhokshajam gopiko lukhale damna bhavandha prakritam yatha. It gives a very, very deep feeling. I was thinking, what is this sloka? 2 slokas. Whenever I have read them, it gives a very deep feeling. What is the word Bhavandha? What is it saying? That the Lord Supreme, who is all-pervading, who has neither inside nor outside, nor before nor after, who is the universe itself, who is Avyakta, who is Adhokshaja, who is Martyalingam. To that Supreme Lord, this Gopika, Yashoda, thinks that she will bind him in the Ulukhala. Where is she binding? She has bound him in the Ulukhala. Where do we have to bind? It is in our heart. You know, when I read these 2 slokas, I have that experience, the feeling, as if this word Babandha is giving an experience to us that the Lord has got bound in our heart, not to leave from there. And how can we tie him there? With what rope? Krishna has told later that it is Pranaya Rashanaya. Pranaya Rashanaya Dhritangri Padma. It is by the cord of love that we can tie the feet of the Lord. Dhritangri Padma. If we can do that, then the Lord will never be able to leave our heart. So ultimately, what is it? It is to grow devotion for the Lord. Grow devotion for the Lord. This is what, when Shukadeva started telling Parikshit, instructing him, he said that, O king, in this world, people are not interested in knowing the Supreme Lord. They remain busy with their household, their wives, their children, their property, their name, fame, prestige, everything. Seeing that everything is perishable, seeing that everything just gets destroyed, they are not afraid. They are not afraid. They simply avoid understanding that. But this world is full of misery, full of many worries, full of so much of fear of losing. Even if we are happy, everything is happy around us, the fear is whether something will happen and this very beautiful, comfortable life that we are leading now will be disturbed. That is the fear. I think that is a basic fear. There may be a lot of suffering. People may not have food to eat, dress to wear, no house to live in, or nature would bring in nature's calamities. But there may be people who are living comfortably, but still this fear is there. What if anything happens? Disease, death of a near and dear one, losing money, not having proper money to live comfortably, not children if they are not settled properly, all this fear. So, right in the beginning of Bhagavata, Parikshit is being told by Shukadeva, Tasmat sarvatmana rajan meyamanasya sarvatha smartavyah kirtitavyasya shrotavyah smartavyah kirtitavyah yaha ichchata abhayam. If you want abhaya, then you must listen about him. Listen about the stories. Listen about the Lord, Supreme Lord, and think about him, sing about him. Be intoxicated. Then only your fear will go. What did Krishna do after Yashoda was able to tie him up? Yashoda went to her household work, but Krishna, he had a mission. A small boy, he had a mission. What is that mission? You know, there were two Arjuna trees. They were trees, very ancient, but actually they were two yakshas. Long, long back, these two yakshas, because of their pride and having taken liquor, they had disrespected Narada. So Narada had cursed them and said that you will become two Arjuna trees in Gokula, and you will have to live like trees for many, many years. Only when Sri Krishna takes birth, with the touch of his feet, you will be liberated. And at that time, you can go back to your Swadhama, and taking God's name, you live your life. So that time has come. What Krishna did, he started walking towards the two Arjuna trees. The two Arjuna trees were very near to each other. There was not much space between them even for that ulukala or the mortar to pass by through them. Krishna just dragged and dragged and dragged the ulukala behind him because he has been tied with his waist, so he could walk. So he walked and went. He tried to go through them and the ulukala got stuck. So what Krishna did, Krishna pulled. He pulled the ulukala. He tried to come out. And with that pull, though it is not possible for any human child to do, with that pull, the two huge trees just fell with terrific noise. Krishna's some friends, seeing that Krishna has come out, though tied with the ulukala, they understood that he is being punished by the mother. They had come, so they saw this whole episode. When the trees fell, two luminous figures, they came out and they prostrated at Krishna's feet. They sang hymns and did some prayer, and after Krishna told them, now you can go, they went away. So these children, when all elders came running, they said, we have seen Krishna was dragging this ulukala And that is how the two trees fell, and two luminous of men came out, and this is what has happened. Nobody believed them. And they picked up Krishna, the mother picked up Krishna and gave lots of kisses and all that. But you know, what these two yakshas had prayed to Krishna. Vani Gunanukathane, before going, prostrating at Krishna's feet, they said, Vani Gunanukathane, Shravanau Kathayam, Hastau cha karmasu, Manastava padayornaha, Smritya shirastava, Nivasa jagat praname, Drishtis satam darshanestu, Bhavattanunam, Vani Gunanukathane, Shravanau Kathayam, Hastau cha karmasu, Manastava padayornaha, Smritya shirastava, Nivasa jagat praname, Drishtis satam darshanestu, Bhavattanunam. They had been cursed and they had lived like trees for a long, long time. Vani Gunanukathane, Shravanau Kathayam, Hastau cha karmasu, Manastava padayornaha, Smritya shirastava nivasa jagat praname, Drishtis satam darshanestu, Bhavattanunam. They were yakshas who were cursed by Narada, and they have lived many, 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 many years in the form of two trees waiting for Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna has liberated them. What they are saying, you know, this should be the prayer of all of us. Vani Gunanukathane. Let our speech be always be engaged in talking about you, O Lord. Vani Gunanukathane, Shravanau Kathayam. And we must hear your exploits, your excellences, your glory from wherever we can. Hastau cha karmasu. We must do work thinking that we are doing work for you. We are doing your seva. Manastava padayornaha. And let our mind, wherever it is, let it think that we are doing pranam to you. Let it be at your feet. Drishtya sirastava nivasa jagat praname. And these two eyes, let it see this whole world as your abode. Not only a temple, not only a puja shrine. This whole world is your abode. Everywhere you are there. Let our eyes feel that. Smritya shirastava nivasa jagat praname. The mind must think that this whole world is your abode, not a particular place. Drishtis satam darshanestu, Bhavattanunam. And every being, every creature, let us see your form in them, and the devotees also. Let us see you and your devotees everywhere in all form. This should be our prayer. This should be our pursuit. This should be our aim. We have heard Sri Krishna's glories, but it cannot be just Sri Krishna's glories and being flooded in that. in that Ananda Dhara. It is not so. We must change our life, transform our life. With whatever we have heard, our life should get transformed. Devahuti tells, Kapila Muni tells Devahuti, his mother asked him to tell about devotion, about self-knowledge. She said that at the fag end of her life, she said, "Oh my son, all these years I have been only worldly, thought about worldly things and suffered. Please tell me about the Supreme Lord, how to grow devotion for Him and how to be liberated." And in that talk, Kapila is telling, Satam prasangan mama virya samvido bhavanti hritkarna rasayana katha तद्योषनादाशु अपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्ति अनुक्रमिष्यति सतां प्रसंगान् मम वीर्यसंविदो भवन्ति हृत्कर्णरसायनाः कथाः तद्योषनादाशु अपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्ति अनुक्रमिष्यति. He is saying, "O mother, always try to hear about the Lord's excellences, because when you hear, those are Rit Karna Rasayana Katha. They are like nectar to the heart and the ears. They are like nectar. As many of you are writing in all these 5 days, that you feel you are in an ocean of nectar. And he says, Mother, by listening to that, what will happen is your Shraddha, faith in the Supreme Lord, will increase. Rati, your love for Lord will increase, and bhakti will also increase in the manner, in this kram. Nishamya karmani gunana tulyan वीर्यानि लीलातनुभृकृतानि यदाति हर्षोत्पुलकाश्रुगद्गदं प्रोत्कण्ठ उद्गायति रौति नृत्यति निशम्य कर्माणि गुणानतुल्यान् वीर्यानि लीलातनुभृकृतानि यदाति हर्षोत्पुलकाश्रुगद्गदं प्रोत्कण्ठ उद्गायति रौति नृत्यति यदा ग्रहग्रस्त इव क्वचित् हसत्याक्रन्दते ध्यायति वन्दते जनं मुहुश्वसन् भक्ति हरे जगत्पते नारायणेत्यात्ममतिर्गतत्रपः तदा पुमान् मुक्त समस्त बंधनः तद्भाव भावानुकृताशयाकृतिः निर्दग्ध बीजानुशयो महीयसा भक्ति प्रयोगेन समेत्यधोक्षजं तदा पुमान् मुक्त समस्त बंधनः तद्भाव भावानुकृताशयाकृतिः निर्दग्ध बीजानुशयो महीयसा भक्ति प्रयोगेन समेत्यधोक्षजं निशम्य कर्माणि गुणानतुल्यान्. Nishamya means hearing. Who is saying this, Prahlada. He says to his small classmates. Prahlada was only 7 years old, and his classmates of the same age. He was telling them how to grow bhakti towards the Supreme Lord, who is the real truth, who is all in all in this world. He says, Nishamya karmani gunanatulyan. What should we hear? That is, we should be hearing the virtues and the qualities of the Lord, Atulyan Gunan. That is, His excellences, all that He has done, His exploits, His excellences, His glories. Viryani Leela Tanubhikritani. When in this human form the Lord is here, what all exploits He has done, we must hear about it, as we have been hearing all these days. Every day we must, little bit we must hear. Not only hear, we must think about it, do manana, and try to assimilate that bhakti in us. Try to bind the Lord with that bhakti in our heart. The reading and listening cannot be mechanical. Cannot be that every day I read one chapter of Bhagavatam or 2 chapters of Bhagavatam. That is not what we want. We want the message to go inside our heart, resonate in us, feel the Lord in us. Then only that reading, listening, singing, hymning, all that will have its purpose, the aim fulfilled. Yadati harshot pulakashru gadgadam. And on hearing what will happen, there will be harsha, delight. There will be pulaka, romaharsha. And ashru will be flowing. The tears will start shedding. The voice will choke. And protkantha udgayati. Sometimes we will feel like shouting or loudly chanting His names. Hare Jagatpate, like that. Udgayati, Rauti, Nrityati. Sometimes we'll feel like only crying. Sometimes we'll feel like dancing with joy. Yada grahagrasta iva kvachit hasatyakrandate dhyayati vandate janam. As if we have been intoxicated, as if we have been haunted by a ghost. Sometimes we'll laugh, sometimes we will cry, sometimes we'll sit quietly and we'll be in meditation. Sometimes we'll look at everybody and do pranam, thinking God lives in everything, every creature, everywhere He is. That thought, when it grips us, then as we go to a temple and we do pranam to the idol, we'll feel like doing pranam to everybody, even an animal, a bird, and not to talk of all the human beings. Mohushvasan bhakti hare jagatpate narayane tyatmamatir gatatrapaha. And our breath will be very loud. Heavily we will be taking breath and we will chant His name, Hare Jagatpate Narayana, without any shame. We will be fully absorbed in ourselves and will chant His name. Tada Puman Mukta Samasta Bandhana. When a devotee reaches that state where he gets absorbed into oneself, and he starts crying, sometimes laughing, sometimes dancing, or becoming quiet. Tada, at that time, Puman Mukta Samasta Bandhanaha. All the bandhanas, all the bondages, all the possessiveness, all the attachments will simply drop from the heart. How? Because the Lord enters the heart and He takes away all that. Dhunoti sarvam hridi sannivishtaha. He enters the heart and purifies the heart. Purifies the heart of what? Of the impurities that we very, very carefully keep collected into our heart. Our anger, our annoyance, our dislike, our hatred, our complaints, our criticisms, our possessiveness, our attachments, all our desires, very safely we keep inside, thinking that these are our possessions. But from these only we are afraid, we get suffering, we become fearful, we become disturbed, agitated, and miserable. When the Lord enters our heart, He just occupies our heart, takes all that baggage and throws it. And there He alone is there, reveals Himself. Everything has become transparent and free. Here He takes His seat and smiles at us. This is what happens. Tada puman mukta samasta bandhanah tad bhava bhavanukritashaya kritihi. And our mind becomes absolutely like what He is. It becomes completely absorbed in Him. Nirdagdha bijanushayo mahiyasa. And the desires and everything simply gets burnt off. Like when a seed is burnt, from that seed we cannot have any more plant. Like that. Nirdagdha bijanushaya. Mahiyasa bhakti prayogena. And the bhakti, it grows so much, it becomes so mahan, so great that sametyadhokshajam, that simply helps us to attain the Lord in our heart. Adhokshajalambhamiha shubhatmanah sharirina samsriti chakrashatanam tad brahma nirvana sukham vidurbudhaha tato bhajadvam hridaye hridishwaram adhokshajalambhamiha shubhatmanah sharirina samsriti chakrashatanam tad brahma nirvana sukham vidurbudhaha tato bhajadvam hridaye hridishwaram tato bhajadvam hridaye hridishwaram tato bhajadvam hridaye hridishwaram. Adhokshajalambham. Adhokshaja. He is Lord Hari, Sri Krishna. Alambham is the embrace. When the bhakti grows like this, we understand that we are embraced by Him in our heart. He is there, always embracing us, but we do not understand. We want to embrace the world outside. How will we know? When He purifies our heart. By what? By our love for listening to Him, the love which has grown by our effort, and He has graced us as our intensity of our effort has grown, and He has showered His kripa more and more and more, and the bhakti has taken and it has flooded everything. That Mahiyasa Bhakti makes us understand that He is always embracing us. And at that time, all the Ashubha, all the worldliness goes away. And we understand Brahma Nirvana Sukha. Tad Brahma Nirvana Sukham Vidurbudhaha. What we experience by that embrace is called Brahma Nirvana Sukha. It is the touch of Brahman. Touch of Brahman, our real identity, the Supreme Lord, the all-pervading Lord. That is why we must propitiate, worship the Lord in our heart. We have to see Him everywhere, in everything, in the whole of the universe, and worship Him, understanding He is sitting there in our heart with His two hands stretched out. Tato bhajadvam hridaye hridishwaram. He is the Lord of our heart, and worship the Lord in the Lord. Worship the Lord in the heart itself. Tato bhajadvam hridaye hridishwaram. 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 He is the Hrideshwaram. All the Krishna Katha that we have heard, all will remain a story, unless you make effort to feel this Hrideshwara in your own heart. He will become a story and you will forget it. Maybe another time you will hear it again and you will feel flooded with bhakti. But our aim should be to keep that bhakti always, to keep that touch always, and make him the Lord who is always with us, moving, playing, consoling, giving us abhaya, abhaya, abhaya. Virachita वृष्णिधुर्यते चरणमीयुषां संसृतेर्भयात् करसरोरुहं कान्तकामदं शिरसि धेहिनः श्रीकरग्रहं तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते भूरिदा जनाः तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते भूरिदा जना विरचिताभयं वृष्णिधुर्यते चरणमीयुषां संसृतेर्भयात् करसरोरुहं कान्तकामदं शिरसि धेहिनः श्रीकरग्रहं। जय गुरु, जय गुरु, जय गुरु।